And here we are.
We are back. It seems like we were just here like a week ago
Because we were.
because we were here a week ago.
We were.
Because I'm traveling for like the next couple of weeks, so we didn't want to wait like a month between episodes. So that's why we're here now.
Yep.
So you get a little bit extra from us, and then we'll be back in like 2 weeks or so. We'll figure out, but I got to open a calendar and look because I don't remember the dates. I get back on the 24th, so it'll be the week after the 24th, whatever that is. You guys can do the math.
Yeah, the end of the month.
So yeah, towards the end of the month, we will be back. But how is everybody doing? I think we're not going to have a ton of people because I think a ton of people are traveling home from Blade Show, which is okay. We don't
Hi, Stacy.
have a ton of people anyway. So, but we do have Aussie Mike in the house today because it's a holiday in the land down under. So
that
he
counts,
gets to hang out with us.
That counts like 5 people right there. That just
exactly.
And then we got Stacy. She's back, so that's another plus 10. Easy.
If it's just Stacy and Mike, we're good to go.
Yeah.
The four of us will just hang out and chat for a little bit about Blade Show Atlanta 2024, of which neither Alex or I attended. So preface it that way, that we only saw what people saw online or posted, so we don't know anything really. I will probably never go to Blade Show Atlanta. I've said that before.
I may one day.
There are just too many people. I think it's too much, and I will probably not go. If Alex is going to go, then I might go. But
yeah, I want to swim through the sea of sweaty men one time.
Just
want to do it once.
Yeah, maybe.
Just once. I mean, because it's kind of like a world-renowned event, right? Like it's one of our big ones.
There is that.
And for me, it's an excuse because my best friend lives in Atlanta, so that's I can go and harass him a little too.
All right, so speaking of best friends in Atlanta, my best friend is in Utah, so it's easy for me to go to Blade Show West now that it's in Utah for the third time it's going to be there this year, or is it the fourth?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Will B says, I'll go to Blade Show, but mostly to meet all my YouTube and knife friends.
That's fair.
That's a lot of what it is.
That's kind of the only reason why I want to go too. I might buy a knife as a memento to the occasion, but I'm not going there to buy knives,
Agreed.
So like I buy knives differently. Although I think like production stuff is kind of cool at shows because you get like kind of weird, neat little stuff. They always have like a little special edition of something.
Yes.
Dude, I saw an Emerson knife. It looked like a CQC 7, but with a recurve on it, and the blade was made of Magna Cut.
What's up, Doug?
Emerson goes away
Emerson with Magna Cut?
Yeah. I was like, not 154 cm, but Magna Cut. I was like, that's interesting. I don't know if that's a Blade Show like thing or
right.
But yes,
very well could have been.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, you do see a lot of show specials at Blade Show Atlanta. And we saw some, because I did go to Blade West last year, and I'm planning to go back this year. There are, of course, show specials there as well, as with California Custom Knife Show that Alex and I have been at many times together. There's always the show special stuff. They've done a little different color. They've used a different material, things like that, and maybe is engraved and whatnot. So, but yeah, we got Luck Knives in the house who was at Blade Show, who had his own booth for the very first time at a knife show, I believe.
Congratulations, Mike.
So congrats on that. I hope it was productive and you had a good time and you sold a lot of stuff. I hope.
So yeah, and you better have done a good job, because you're on tax dollar times, buddy. If you guys don't know, Mike works for the government. He's a yeah, he's
Yeah,
I think
will
he's an
be
F-35 airframe
mechanic.
mechanic, if I remember, or something.
I believe that is correct. He used to work on some other stuff as well. But yeah, he's currently, last I know, working on the F-35s. Will B says he didn't even know Ernie even knew there was another steel than 154.
That's true most of the time. I actually have a knife from I want to say it's an Emerson knife from many years back, like a 2016 model that
Mm-hmm.
actually has S-35 on it. But it was
Wow.
a special edition one. So it was like Action Concepts exclusive. And
Mm-hmm.
it had S-35VN. That's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to buy it in the first place, is because it's like, ooh, an Emerson with better steel. That's kind of neat. So, yeah.
Awesome. Luck Knives says he sold more than half of his knives that he brought, and he took orders for kitchen knives. So awesome. Congrats, dude. I'm super excited for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Utah for Blade West. Can't wait. Maybe if we're really, if we all join together, we can convince Alex to join us there.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. It's a quick flight.
Yeah, I'm considering it.
It's literally a 2-hour flight. So, what other cool stuff did you guys, other than Luck Knives, anybody else at Blade Show watching?
Yeah, go ahead and
Was
fill some
anybody else
stuff
there?
in the
Chime
comments.
in. Let us know.
Well,
Overall, Mike would call it a success for his first time. So that's awesome, man. I'm super
that is awesome.
happy for you, man.
So one thing that I did see that was unveiled at Blade was a new Kershaw that I am extremely excited about, and Dirk is not, which is okay. That's like how we are, right? Like, we're all collectors. The tilt is coming back. The Kershaw tilt. For some of you guys who don't remember, it was actually a really old model back when Kershaw was more of a premium knife. Like, a Kershaw back in the days was more like a ZT, if that makes any sense. Like, they had more premium blades. They did a lot of that fusing two different steels, like you see on some of the ZTs as well, and Kershaws, and they do those kind of zipper blade designs when they're kind of keyed in together and whatnot. And so they kind of did the same thing here, except what I thought was kind of interesting is usually they'll do like 14C28N and D2, or like it's usually a D2 or something like that. They actually did 14C28N and Crewwear as their kind of conjoint steel. I think it looks rad. I think it looks like a Corvette. If you guys are all into like old school Kershaws, like I am, back when they made the ET, which is this cool Ganton grab and hawk design that you can pinch the butt of the knife and it like flips open and close. And they really did some really cool stuff back in the day. They weren't like the $40-$50 knives that now. I mean, they had a few of those, but that was kind of more their minority. And for me, this is such a cool knife. I mean, the original tilt to me still looks better, but this is a really like nice tribute, like nod to the OG for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. You know what it reminds me of, looking at this image on the screen right here? If it was all without the carbon, take the carbon fiber out and the line on the blade, Cybertruck.
Well, I mean, you're not completely wrong, but although I do think that this has much better lines than the Cybertruck does,
Anything. The brick
Because
in my
that would be
backyard has better lines than the
that
Cybertruck.
would be the Cybertruck in reverse, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. And at $500, I'm going to pass myself, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm probably gonna get one. And I think like the back piece is all one piece of carbon fiber wrapping around left to right on the scale. So it's almost kind of like an integral design, which was kind of neat.
Oh, let me see. They did have. Oh, there
Yeah,
is another picture of
yeah,
it.
right there. Look at that.
It looks like there might be a seam, though. I don't know.
There is, it's not a true integral, but it's kind of like built,
Yeah, yeah,
kind of like it's supposed to be all one piece like that.
yeah.
I think that's kind of neat. And look, a 3D milled clip. I mean, it's kind
I,
of like a factory custom ZT level knife.
yes.
So for like a Kershaw, that's to do that. I haven't seen that in years. I'm kind of
I agree.
hey
Big
Nick,
Nick
hey
from
Nick.
New Zealand. My friend, thank you very much for joining in.
But you know what makes me most excited about this knife, Dirk, is that there might be a glimmer of hope that ZT and Kershaw may make some sort of cool comeback. I mean, look how cool that lock bar cut out. It's a subframe lock, is what it looks like.
It is pretty cool in that regards, for sure.
It's supposed, I mean, like the 999 was an ugly knife, the ZT 999, which is one of those
Yes.
iconic ones. But you just admire the crazy construction and just weirdness about it. I mean, even the flipper tab's pretty goofy on this thing.
Mm.
But the pocket clip is cool. I like the way they did that. I think that looks really neat. And you saw from the side profile, it pops out a good amount. It's gonna work.
Yeah, I think that pocket clip is going to work really good. I
Yep.
do like the fact that they're going back in time
Yes.
and
Yes.
bringing back something from back in the day with today's more modern manufacturing and whatnot. So for those reasons, I think it's great, and I hope to see them come back and do some with some of the old school ZT,
Mhm.
maybe redesign, tweak a little bit for new release, right? Because I think everybody agrees that the old ZT was the best ZT.
Yes.
And
Mike is asking me to get him one too. Mike, just because I know who you are, no problem, buddy. If they do like a drop and I can manage to get two, I'll grab you one.
yeah, so Lug Knife says the Tilt was the first knife to use Vanex, the first knife made using wire EDM, the first knife using KVT bearings. The lock bar cutout was actually angled in a way where it acted as its own over travel stop. So there was a lot of firsts with the original Tilt. So I think it's cool to bring it back. It's just not something that I love, but because Alex and Aussie Mike are going to buy one, I get to check one out and film it, and I don't have to spend $500.
I think it's
Just
gonna
the
be more
way
than that.
I like it.
I think it's gonna be more than that. Although it shows MSRP is 750 and sale price is 500.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I plan to try to get my hands on one for sure if I can if I don't snooze on it, because you know me and the internet.
Uh-huh.
So whatever. You know
I
what? You know what
totally
ends
agree.
up happening is just like I did with the Combat Troodon, the Ghostbuster one. I wait till a little after its release, and then I decide I want one.
And then you just
Then
pay
I pay
double and
more.
you call it good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Horrible.
Will would also like to see some ZTs redone. Yeah.
I would
We'll
like to
see.
see ZT move forward.
I agree. So one of the other things from Blade Show that we saw was there's always auctions and lotteries, first come, first serves. All the makers, all the brands, all the companies do that, right? So there's a line at the door. You run to table number 127. And if you get there fast enough and you push somebody out of the way, you can buy whatever it is, show special, for the right price.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't make it, well, then you're SOL. But you can put your name in for a lottery. And if you guys are not familiar, you guys all know, but a lottery just means that you win a spot to buy it. You don't win anything for free. You just win the opportunity to buy the knife at whatever the price is. $1,500, $2,000, $5,000, whatever.
Right.
And those are all fine and dandy. Okay, cool. Then you got auctions where it's just an auction. Starts out at $100 or whatever. They can pick their starting thing. It doesn't matter. And they go for $100, $500, and everybody goes around. There's a piece of paper, and you write down your name and your bid amount, or you phone it in. I had Jeff Vandermeulen. It was making. He made two double. What is it? Double action automatic. So it can open with a thumb stud and close, or hit the button and it'll open. So dual action automatic. He made two prototypes in collaboration with Reese Whelan.
Oh, that's cool.
They are super cool. I chose not to buy one because I don't get into auction thing. Says the guy who had an unboxing video this morning from an auction I bought of a silver bar. So here I am talking. I don't get into auctions. That one was like $50. It's different. But yeah, Jeff was texting me yesterday saying, hey, if you're not here, just text me a price. I'll put you in for the auction and things like that. Okay, fine. I didn't do that, but my buddy Eric, Eric, Blades and Bullets over on Instagram, he actually won yesterday's auction for that one. And it's super cool. I get to check it out. Maybe when I go to Utah next week, if we get together, if he has it by then. If not, then I will check it out after. But that one went for like $2,000-ish. Mm-hmm. There were a couple of other high ticket auctions that we wanted to talk a little bit about. There's probably more than these three that I am aware of. Okay. Two from Shargnivko. They did two Ryus. One went for like $15,000 on Friday, and the other one went for $22,000 on Saturday. Yeah, $22,000 US for my international viewers, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I've been seeing that with a lot of makers all across the board. But, like when it comes to like auctions at the knife show, like, anything goes. Like it's, and with collectors over the years that I've spoken to, there's always somebody with a bigger wallet that's going to be there. And what's interesting is I always hear about these Chinese like people that come over very rich, like I'm talking like not like rich what we think of, like old rich, like old money,
right?
Where like $50,000 for a knife or something like that is kind of a drop in the bucket for some of them, and they show up at Blade Show every year. And these are the guys that you have to battle with when you want to get something like that. And, it's kind of an unfair advantage, but it's fair, right? Like, I mean, if you got the cash, anybody can buy it. So, but the problem is what people value knives after the fact is based on some of these auctions, right?
So here is the Shargnivko Ryu that went for $22,000. Inset lock, hidden hardware, Zircuti frame with carbo quartz inlays, carbo quartz backspacer, no pocket clip, but it comes with a leather sheath. So you would have lost me right there, Ed. Sorry, I need a pocket clip. That's just me. It's a personal thing. Hand rubbed RWL 34.
I guess when you're that rich, you don't wear pants with pockets.
I guess so 22 grand, that's Mariella's hand there holding that. And the problem does come, like Alex was saying, now I don't guarantee, but come Monday or Tuesday of next week, somebody will try to sell their more plain Ryu for 10 or 12, 14 grand because the last one sold for 22. Mine should be worth X. No, and this is going to be a little controversial. Yeah, your servant holds it for you, so you don't need it in your pocket.
You don't need a pocket clip,
It'll be a little controversial, but auction prices do not dictate secondary prices.
Well, they can, I guess.
I mean,
they don't do with me.
They don't with me either. And you guys you guys watching, comment, anybody watching after the fact, comment your thoughts on that. I get it. I've been in a lot of auctions. I bought so much stuff on eBay over the years, not in the last 5-10 years, but when eBay was big, like way back, I got into a lot of auctions. My emotions got involved. That $150 Craftsman tool set that I could have driven to Sears and bought, I would pay $200 and something on eBay because, damn it, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat that other guy who keeps outbidding me every time. And so I bought a lot of auctions, and Luck Knives just nailed it. I mean, Todd Carr says definitely will end up.
Oh.
So what does he say here?
Sorry. I was trying to put it back on the screen.
Definitely will end up in a display box somewhere where it'll never be handled again. I think that might be true with this one. And we got one more auction to talk about after this that's even more money than $22,000. So stay tuned for that.
And at least it comes with a display box.
Oh, okay. We're not going there. So Nick over in New Zealand says 22,000 US is 36,000 New Zealand dollars. And Aussie Mike will tell us what that is in Aussie dollars, I'm sure, here in a moment too, now that I call him out.
I wish I could tell you what it is in francs, but I don't know.
And I'm not judging, okay? I have spent a lot of money on a knife, okay? I have the King Battle, the Frank Fisher King Battle. This is a 5-figure knife, okay? So I'm not judging anybody for spending $22,000 on a knife. Don't get me wrong. But I think that doesn't, or should not, and it doesn't in my mind, dictate the secondary pricing for other.
Well, and then look at it this way. That's one way of thinking of it. The way I reason it, and I get it. I get it. It's one of those things where you start to like judge a price on popularity of knives, but the thing is when I look at these expensive knives, and I've been collecting for a lot of years, like I remember what these knives used to go for. Like I remember all these. I mean, put it this way, like already a good chunk into my like kind of custom collecting knowledge. Like I already saw like custom Stan Wilson's non-flipper flipper for $3 to $4 grand. So that's kind of like how far back I go, right?
Yep.
So I've seen what these knives go for, and like a Shark Nevco Ryu at some point was like a $700-800 knife.
Yes. Right? When I bought mine on the secondary about 3-ish years ago, I got it was very plain Jane, like literally tumbled titanium, RWL 34. Like it was $2,000. And that was a good deal from a friend type of a thing. So, but yeah, they were going in that 2 to 25 like 3 years ago.
Right.
And I recently did sell it when I bought the King Battle because I'm not rich. I'm just irresponsible. Okay, let's just make that very clear. Yes, I have a 5-figure knife or 2 or 3 of them. And it's not because I'm rich, but I'm just irresponsible. But I acted responsibly, so I sold my Ryu and I listed it for 7 and I got about 6 something for it. In 3 years, it appreciated 3 times. So there is some markup on them, or appreciation, I guess I should say. But that's the only knife I've ever sold for more money than I bought it for. Ever.
Well, yeah, and then it's like something where like somebody was totally okay. Hey, here, I'll give you this amount of money for it. I really want it. And it works out that way, right? Like it's not
Yes.
like like Mike said earlier, a contest of epic proportions.
It turns out to be a contest though in the auctions. And that's where I don't know. I mean, I can't judge you for spending the money that you want to spend on a knife. If you want to spend $22,000 on a knife, I'm not one to judge. A lot of people think the King Battle is ugly and they would never spend $1,000 on it. Okay. I don't judge you. You shouldn't judge me. So that's not what this is. We're just kind of talking about the pricing and how it's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm going to bring out a cheap knife now because,
I mean, we got to go back to reality here for a minute before we go to the next question.
Yeah. Here's a new one I got, guys. It's I don't know how many figures it is, but it's not that many, It is the new little cub. I really like this thing. This thing's sweet. Little mini.
And what is that, like a 3-inch blade ish?
I'm gonna say, yeah, probably about 3 or 2 point something, like right around 3. Pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. That has some figure to it.
Yep. So I get it. Yeah, people complain about a $50 knife. They do all the time.
Yes.
They do all the time. And if you want a great sub 50-ish dollar knife, the Kubi KB237. $45-ish on Amazon. It's freaking great.
Or you can double it for $125 and get yourself a Demco with 20 CV.
Yep. It's all in what you want to pay. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's what do you want to pay for you?
Yes.
And Nick says, am I excited to check out his 6 custom ADVs? I am. So Nick ordered and had Andre DeVilliers make him 6 custom knives that are shipping to me after I get back from my trip to Utah in next week. So
that's pretty cool, man. I've had 2 of his knives. I still have that slip joint with the rosewood and Mokime that you made. But then I used to have a flipper that was purple with a grenade like frag pattern handle that was kind of cool. The only reason why I sold it is because it had that faux hamon. And I can't do the faux hamon. Like I just can't do it. It's right. Yeah, I don't know.
So he wants to know if you want to check them out too.
Oh, maybe.
They I don't even know what they are. I don't know nothing about them. I will know when I get back from my trip. And then I will share with you guys.
Sweet.
As I do. So, yeah. And then Luck Knives says American Karma paid $1,100 table for, traded it. It disappeared for a little while. Then it just recently sold for over $4,000. So it does happen.
Yep.
A lot of people buy a knife and sell it for more later. Generally, if I look back on my history, I buy a knife for more than I should have. And then I go to sell it or trade it later and I get way less than I should because that's just the way my life goes with that sort of thing, investing. Like when I was big into cryptocurrency, I'd buy something And all my friends would be like, dude, did you just buy X coin? Yeah, why? Because the price just went down this afternoon. I'm like, sorry, my bad. So it got to the point where they'd go, dude, don't buy anything until you tell us first.
Oh yeah.
I had that knack of instantly dropping the price on any crypto I bought, and it sucked. So I kind of got out of it. I have a little bit now, but it just sits there. I don't do anything with it. It's just kind of sitting over there in a wallet. Okay. So let's take this comment here, and then we'll go on to the next one here.
Yeah, you got me checking my crypto.
I am getting to a point where I am more discerning with knives. Not a lot of knives interest me at the moment.
That's because you buy everything.
Because you've bought so many. And that's not a bad thing. And I think we all go through that in collecting.
I think that's actually a good topic.
Baseball cards, you name it.
I think that's a pretty good topic to talk about, actually.
I think that is. And we should probably dedicate a whole episode to that, but we can touch on it here for a minute. Yeah, when I got into knives, it was a bunch of Benchmade Spydercos. And I had my brother, who's in law enforcement, retired now. His partner was a Benchmade dealer. And so we got good prices. I got like dealer pricing with no tax. I just had to drive down an hour and a half away and pick it up from him in person. Okay. So I bought a bunch of Benchmades back in the day. And then I used those after a few years as I started getting more and more into knives to trade. Okay, here's 3 Benchmades for that one, whatever, Medford, CT, Hinderer, I just kind of worked my way up by that. But when I first got into it, I bought all the Benchmades, all the Spydercos. So I think we all start off buying a whole bunch so we can learn and understand what we like and don't like. And then we sell off and we only buy the stuff we really want. I'm kind of in that point too, where I'm buying things that I want that I am pretty sure will be keepers. I don't ever want to say that this is never going anywhere, because how many knives do I own of people who have professed publicly they're never going to sell?
Yeah, I kind of went into my own little slump of like getting excited about certain things. Like I've kind of gone to like trying to match some of the knives that, like, let's say there was like, I wanted a big one and a little one, like this thing, right? And so I didn't get that. I'll get that. Like some of the old school ZTs that like I wanted to buy back in the day that, I didn't want to afford or couldn't afford back then, that now, nothing of the new stuff is really exciting me. So I can go and chase like, an old school 0392 ZT knife that I really want, like I used to have. And there, I do keep my eye on like new stuff, but the new stuff is like this was like $120, right? And then I bought that little Magna Cut launch, that little California legal one.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, I wanted to have a little switchblade in my pocket that I can carry without worrying about anything. I can kind of carry it anywhere. And it was made out of Magna Cut, and then it had like some of this Yoltum or Ultum.
Ultum, yeah,
whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So like it's just kind of like a neat little thing, but I'm already beating it up. Like I don't care. I mean, actually, it hasn't. That was another thing, is it's in Magna Cut, and I was telling you, I was like, my kids' toys the zip ties like tip in, just whack, like pulling them right off. Because I'm like, I don't care. This thing's like, I think I got it on sale for like $90 or $85 or something.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
I'm like, this is a knife I intended to just kind of like beat up all the time and just go through boxes or whatever. And and I like you saw, I got a new fish tank with a new fish tank stand and everything. And I was using that thing like crazy to cut up the boxes, and then to like cut up all the plastic straps that was like holding everything over. And then I went through a bunch of like ridiculously stupid zip ties, because they zip tie everything. Right. Like, and the thing didn't even have a glint or a roll. Like I
Yeah.
sent you that little video this morning. I'm like, I can't believe it, man. I'm
Mhm.
dumbfounded. This thing too, by the way, if you guys go out and buy one of these, this knife is incredibly sharp. Like I
And
don't say,
what blade steel is that one?
this one's in 20 CV.
Okay.
But apparently from the word on the street, because I don't want to say that this is viable information. I think that's a good way. That's how I'm going to describe that stuff. The word on the street is, I'm aging myself, is
Right.
that the heat treat with Demcos are actually a little bit above average, like better than a lot of other people in certain ways. So, but the other cool thing is the edge geometry on this thing is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, look how thin it is. It almost disappears on camera.
Right. Yeah.
So as a cutting tool, like I highly recommend these little, it's not the 2.5, it's the Shark Lock Cub, I think is what they
I think
call
it's
it.
the Cub. Yeah, it's the smallest. I think it's the smallest one they have.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like 2.5 or 2 and something inch. I
I
can't
think
remember.
they make, I think I did a video. They had like a fixed blade, like a
Yes.
little neck knife
Yes.
fixed blade, like,
Yes.
1.5 inch blade, like something like that.
Yes.
That's their smallest. But for
Right.
the folding shark lock thing, I think this Cub is the smallest.
Right. Right. I
I've had
see.
good luck with the Magnet Cut. I have just the one RJ Martin. And
Right.
this, I mean, I do have a OTF now that's in Magnet Cut, but I haven't not really used this one. It just is a fidgety thing.
Well,
But this
that
one I've used a lot.
I was gonna say that's a testament to it because you've had that knife for a long time, and I don't
Yeah,
think you've ever sent it for sharpening. So
no, no. And it's still crazy sharp. And what really impressed me, and again, it's a thinner blade and all of that. But when I would cut open a box, and sometimes you go kind of off center and you get kind of stuck in the cardboard, right? Because you're not
mhm,
cutting the seam where the tape is.
mhm.
Dude, it would just cut right through the cardboard. I didn't even know. I thought I was just cutting a straight line through the tape. And
Yeah.
nope, it went sideways and cut the whole cardboard. I was like, holy crap. So, yeah, it was crazy sharp to begin with. I had it at my old house. I got it after Blade Show 2022, I think,
Mhm.
because it came from Blade 2022, if I remember. And then I traded a guy for a TJ Fisher King Kamehameha, one of the first three
I
King
remember you
Kamehameha.
had that.
I had it for sale. He offered to trade this. I put a little cash in, which I was totally fine with. And that thing, like I've done a video before, what knife would I take with me if I could only keep one knife in my entire collection? Everybody thought it'd be a battle. Nope. I would keep this. If I could only keep one knife, I would keep this because it's so practical.
Right.
This one, is great, but is it the most practical for cutting steak, for just doing everyday daily stuff? No, it's not the most practical. It's the most cool, and I love the hell out of it. But Metal Inquisitor, the
Hmm.
1.6 ounce avian, I could be tempted with. You mean this one? This guy? This little tiny guy right here? That's
So who makes it?
full titanium, made by Bestech,
It's Best Tech.
with its fully skeletonized ISO grid pattern, I think is what they're calling it, based on some NASA spaceship thing.
Right.
I haven't done the full video. I did a short. I did an unboxing video, but I don't think the unboxing video has actually dropped yet. I am still getting used to it, and I'm not sure. It is in Magnet Cut, Aussie Mike's favorite thing. The flipper tab could use a little, the flipper action the detent needs to be a little bit stronger. It works, but yeah,
It,
sometimes
is the lock bar skeletonized too?
not. No, that is solid.
Okay.
But it does weigh in at about 1.6. They advertise at 1.6. I just bought a new scale that goes to 2 decimal points. And I get anywhere. It's so freaking temperamental. Normally I get 1.55 out of this, and sometimes I get 1.62. So it depends on how I put it on the scale. It's either 155 or 162.
So I'd
And
average out the two.
and my VC Edge interfaces are 152 for the skeletonized handle one and 159 for the standard build one, and those are consistent weights. So full video coming on this guy. Probably, well, it'll drop in July. I'll probably film it when I get back from Utah.
Very cool.
Video scheduled out all the way through the end of June now, which is super awesome for me.
You know, there's a thing that you and I kind of talked about a little bit, and I think like I'm going to bring it up, is that, you know, we both handled like Rit's original design. And what did he call that one? It was the
Avian Knives Atlas.
The Atlas, yes. And I thought that knife was really cool because it was like kind of a collab with one of like kind of a bigger name custom knife maker. And it's all like the toolless takedown thing and all that stuff, right? Does that like cheat? So, and then he shows us the prototype, right?
Of this during the live stream that we had with him.
Right. But now that it's made by Best Tech as like a $299 knife or something like that, did that cheapen the whole thing a little bit, or?
Yeah, I was a little bit bummed, and I've told Rit that already, the owner of Avian Knives, so I don't mind saying it. I was a little bummed that it was truthful. Another Chinese OEM. And that's not a bad thing. I love Best Tech. I have several Best Tech knives in one of the drawers over here behind me. So I love Best Tech. I love Ria. I love Wii. Like, I love all the Chinese OEMs. I do. So it's not a knock. It was just a little bit bummed when the Atlas, the first model, which is shaped very similarly, it's a little bit thicker, and I know it's not showing up very well. I'm wearing a black shirt and all that, but it's shaped very similarly. I mean, I was a little bummed that this was just an OEM production knife.
It's just that the concept and the idea to me was worth a custom. But maybe that's just me being greedy, and I'm like, yeah, I just want a fancy one, you know. But this kind of gets it out to others. But
yeah, it did.
I just think that it would have been cool, kind of in the same fashion as the first one.
I agree. Yeah. I saw a comment here. Nick says, "Hey, do you have the Titano from PMP in arm's reach?" No, it's in the other room. I think Nick is asking if you have ever handled one of those, Alex, and if you haven't, I can put it in the box with the ADVs. I think is where he's going with that.
Oh, cool. So, yeah, I haven't handled PMPs. I've seen them. I've read about them. I haven't handled one though, not yet.
The Titano is basically the Phil Harvey Peacemaker, but slightly smaller.
Oh yeah,
a little more production, and it's sharpened not only on the bottom, but it's a Tonto, so it's sharpened up here on the edge.
Wow.
So
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, let me grab it. You guys chat for a second. I'll grab it from the other room right
now. That's very kind of you, Nick. I really appreciate it. But yeah, you know, as far as some cool knives, sometimes I like a big knife myself. You know, I don't have as big of knives as Dirk does, but I do like a bigger knife on occasion. You know, with that name, the legend better precede itself. Especially use the word peacemaker.
Okay, so.
Oh, that kind of is.
It's very peacemaker-ish. But it fits in your hand. And this one you can carry. Yeah. Like the Peacemaker is big. It's hard to carry. I carried it at the show. You were with me at the California Custom Knife Show last time we went. And yeah, when you've got a 5-inch pocket clip hanging out of your pocket, people will notice. Not sure why so many
What
people
I
were looking at
what
my
I
pocket, but okay.
what I like too is that the flipper tab looks like what you call it, like a decocker on a pistol. I mean,
It
on a
is.
revolver.
It's kind of like a hammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big blade to flip. So
Wow.
so it's sharp down here and it's sharp up here on this Tonto. Not this edge up here, obviously, but this one's sharp and this one.
That's massive.
It's
What does it
pretty
weigh?
big.
What's the weight on that thing? You remember?
I do not remember.
Yeah, it's.
But here it is next for some size comparison. Let me get something.
Where's the D cell, man? Come on, man. Where's the damn D cell?
Yeah, let's get the D cell battery right over here.
Oh, there it is. He's always got the D cell handy. I knew it. Wow.
So just to kind of give you guys an idea, I've already filmed this video. It just hasn't gone live yet. I went through, because I am going to be gone for a couple of, like 10, 12 days. I had to film a whole bunch and get them loaded to cover while I was gone and all of that kind of stuff. So
a perfect letter opener. I would say it's more like a finger opener.
It can be. So it's a cool one for sure. I'll get it down to Alex when the ADVs come and all that good stuff. So
cool, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we got one more auction knife to talk about here, and it's a Shiro. Oh, Nick chimes in and says it weighs 11.2 ounces, which
That's actually not bad.
11.2 ounces is what the King Battle weighs.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And I carry the King Battle. This is day number 164.
Wow.
That this has been in my pocket. So here we have a Shirogorov. I don't remember what model it is, but this one went for auction with some black Timascus scales, S110V, I believe it was. And the final auction price on this, does anybody have a guess? Luck already knows because he was at Blade Show. But anybody outside that didn't go to Blade Show, give a second to see if anybody chimes in. Paul Mills, probably 10 grand. More.
That's a good guess, though.
That was a good guess. That was probably a legitimate guess. Like, that's where I would think that would come in. 10, maybe 12 is where I thought, maybe.
30 grand.
Metal Inquisitor.
30 grand.
30 grand.
Too high.
That's not high enough.
Too high. Is it? It's
more. It's more than 30 grand.
Oh, okay. Too low. And we got $32,000 and 32,000 going once, going twice. And we got $35,000. We got any more takers?
42.5 is pretty close, but not high enough.
Wow. I'm gonna throw 45 grand in there because I don't remember either.
45 would be closer than the 42, but not quite close enough.
Oh, but of course it has to be a round number. Is it 50 grand?
The final price on this Shirogorov was $46,000.
Wow. Not a round number, but close.
And here are some of the specs on it. It is a first production.
Oh, that's why it's a prototype too.
It's a prototype. 3.5-inch hand-rubbed S110 blade, black Timascus handle, runs on double row roller bearings.
And if you wait just a little bit, you can get a production version for $1,100 in a few months.
Lug Knives, I am right there with you. I'm right there with you because to put it in a little perspective, there is a watch at my AD a mile down the street, an Omega all gold Speedmaster that I really want. And I'm not even a chronograph guy, and I don't even like chronographs. It's $32,000 list price. I could get a deal, I know, but Holy crap.
Mhm.
I'm not even ready to buy a $30,000 watch, let alone a $46,000 knife. Which begs the question.
See, the thing is, though, I don't think, as cool as Shirogorov is, I don't think that knife's gonna have that much return.
No, there's not. And I don't know that it's a legitimate. I don't know. I don't want to start rumors, but I kind of want to start a little controversy because it's what I do. I have heard from other people in the knife community that some of these auctions are kind of rigged.
Mm. Well, why not? It brings the brand up, doesn't it?
It brings the brand up. Like they have the most, like, I mean, it worked. You and I are talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And everybody is like, oh my God, Billy bought a $46,000 knife. And oh my God, Shirogorov sold a $46,000 knife. So it just ups everything.
Yep.
And from a very good source who is a knife maker, says he has done it himself.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay somebody to bid, and they're not really paying you $46,000 for it. They're going to pay you whatever you want for it, and you're going to give it to them, right? So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. What are your guys' thoughts on the matter? We may revisit that conversation with the individual that made those comments on Facebook, have him back on the show because he's been on the show before, and talk more about that. I don't know. Nick has a random question, which is a good question. And this goes to everybody. What do you tell people when they ask, why are you into knives?
That's like asking me, why am I into pussy? That's my answer.
Okay, well.
Oh, come on, man. That was good. Come on, everyone. I need some LOLs. Come on, post them up. That was great.
Okay, so Paul and Nick, and we're going to move right on.
Yeah.
We're going to move right over here to Lux comment. One thing I would buy without hesitation if I had the money is Arizona Custom Knives has an 800-year-old katana that is only 19 grand, but I like it for the historical factor. Dude, that's awesome. I have been looking at some things on Arizona Custom Knives myself because maybe not in 2024, but 2025, I think is going to be my goal. I want the Rambo knives. I love the Rambo series franchise. I love all the movies. I like Sylvester Stallone, blah, blah, whatever. When I was a kid, Rambo, First Blood came out. I want all the knives.
And Rambo likes pussy, by the way. Rambo also likes pussy.
I've always been too cheap. Now I actually make money. I have an adult paycheck with a 12-year-old mentality. And Arizona Custom Knives always has some from Jimmy Lyle. And I keep looking at them. And he says, I better get the bow. Also, the bow is $75,000.
You can buy the actual Rambo bow?
Yes.
No kidding.
It's $75,000 on Arizona Custom Knives right now. The last time I checked, a couple days ago, I saw it.
Wow. What else do they sell on Arizona Knives? Definitely other stuff than knives, huh?
So much stuff.
That's cool. I mean, I always like go there for like knife stuff, but I never frequent to see if they have like Spartan Gladises or if they have, all kinds of crazy stuff. Imagine it's like the craziest.
Actually has good deals on certain things. They do actually have some really good deals. You can negotiate and make them offers, and they work with you. I mean, just because you offer doesn't mean they're going to accept it, but you can do that with them. And I think you can do that on Slice also. Yes. So don't be afraid to do that. If you're shopping on Arizona Custom Knives and the thing is $2,500, you can offer them $2,000, and the worst they can say is no, and you're
Right.
in no worse shape than you were before you asked.
Well, it's just like going on like a used car lot, right? They're always gonna post
Yep.
the car at what ideally they want. So
And
therefore,
yeah.
yeah,
And Lug Knives has done it successfully many times.
yes,
I've never done it. I've never bought anything
I
from
have.
Arizona Custom Knives myself, and yeah, okay, they'll usually counter offer. So if it's listed for 25, you offer $2,000, they come back and say, "Hey, how about 22?" And you say yes, you saved yourself $300 because you asked the question. Just
Mhm.
as an example.
Yep. So ask that question.
Napster Ninja is in the house. He survived a Costco trip. Yay. Um, I survived going to San Francisco this morning, and I had to drive to get to San Francisco. I had to drive right past Sears Point. Oh, sorry, Sonoma Raceway, where NASCAR is in town.
Mm.
So it took way longer because of the NASCAR traffic. And then when we came back from San Francisco, we came back past the racetrack again, but the traffic wasn't so bad because the race was actually in process. So people had mostly come and gone. So there was more traffic, but it was not terrible. But I survived that. Since we're comparing notes there, Napster Ninja,
Mhm.
who I found out last week from Peter's live that Napster Ninja is a local person to me somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
I actually don't remember where he lives, but okay.
I've survived trips to Costco before myself.
Seriously, Nick, you just got to throw that out there. He's got the Gil Hibben machete from Rambo 8.
Hmm.
There's not even 8 movies, are there?
Yeah, there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's
Is there
probably.
8?
Yeah, I think so. I know there's 4 classics, right? Or 5.
I don't know. There's a lot. Gil Hibben makes some great stuff. I would like to get all of them, and I don't want the cheap China ones for $50. I don't want those, and I
Right.
don't need there's 2 different levels on Arizona Custom Knives. There's like the fancy level for like $3,000, and then there's the presentation level for like 1,900, 2,000, whatever. So I kind of want that level, I think. I don't know, but I want to get them all. And they're not all on Arizona Custom Knives. So I'll have to search for some, but that is a knife goal of mine that I should have fulfilled early on. But here I am buying dumb stuff that I don't actually need.
Like
Like I
the
need some Rambo knives also, right?
you need the Rambo knives, man. You do need the Rambo knives. That's
He meant to say the 2008 Rambo film number 5.
mm,
Damn, that's cool, man.
there
Yeah,
is
I'd like to get them
probably 8
all.
Rambos though, or 9 or 10.
I would like to get them all. I almost bought the ones from The Last Blood from Pull Force Knives, but I haven't done that yet either. So you got to go to different makers, right? Jimmy Lyle made some. Gil Hibben made some. Pull Force Knives made some. So you got to kind of go searching to get the right
Mhm.
one. So that's kind of fun also. But yeah.
Sweet.
All right. So who's all meeting for Blade Show West? Me, Luck Knives, my other buddies that live in Utah, Kevin, Eric, and Rob. Chris, who our guest was last week, he comes down from Canada, Yellow Day Energy. He'll be there. Alex might be there.
When is it? What month?
October.
October, right?
Napster Ninja negotiating works if it's a high priced and that it stays on the shelf. I watch out for Benchmades and Spyderco discontinued models from Arizona Custom Knives. Some sell instantly if the price is decent. Yeah, a lot of them do sell right away on Arizona Custom Knives. I've seen some stuff come up, but I have seen some things go. Like I've got a Frank Fisher Battle in the drawer that was mislabeled as it wasn't called a battle. It was called something else. and I think they even mislabeled it. It wasn't from Frank; it was from the Todd. I don't remember, but it's like $1,500. And my buddy Anthony bought it right away, like within 2 days. And then him and I did some horse trading, and I ended up having it. But yeah. Luck Knives. He doesn't really have any more collection goals. I still have the one book spot from the French maker, which was awesome to be able to talk to him at the show. Oh, you got to see him in the show? That's cool.
Cool.
Napster Ninja's in Pacifica, just south of San Francisco. So that's not that far from Napa, or we can meet somewhere in the middle sometime and get together, and forget about Peter and Christine, because you don't need to. We could go and have lunch on our own. We don't need to schedule with them. Although it's great to see them too. So yeah, it's October CCKS. I don't remember when. I think it's at the beginning. I'm sorry, Blade West, I think, is at the beginning. And then CCKS, I believe, is towards the end. And if I go to CCKS, I really do want to go to Friday Night Blade Affair. And I see your comment, Nick, and we're just going to go past that because I don't want to go there. We're just going to skip that.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to go to Friday Night Blade Affair just because I want to experience that and pretend I'm a rich guy for one night. Because, yeah. Partially because I want to meet Todd Rexford. And and there's certain makers that and RJ Martin, they only come for the Friday Night Blade Affair. They don't stay for the whole show, which is fine. I don't judge them by that. But I would really like to meet RJ Martin. One thing I would like, I'm pretty comfortable with my collection. Honestly, I don't know what I really want. The Rambo knives, that's a little different, right? But as far as regular knives, is there anything I really want? Yeah, there's like two things. One, I want a helium, which is the small, lightweight version of this. And I would love it in this same carbo tie. Or this one. No, this one's not carbo tie. This is just fat carbon. I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Mars Valley.
I would love to get a helium that kind of matches this from RJ Martin. And I'm still working with Ed at Red Horse Knife Works on the last final custom Hellraiser. Those are really the only two things I have. And I don't actually have the very first Hellraiser. I have one of the first Black Death series ones. I have the first Black Death series. But another guy owns the very first Hellraiser Ed ever made. And I'm on the list to have him sell it to me at some point when he gets tired of it.
That's cool. That's actually super cool.
I don't know if that'll ever happen. He's
what does it look like?
Many, many years. And I reached out to him. Ed told me who it was. I reached out. He responded back right away. We've been kind of Facebook friends now. And I just hit him up the other day and said, hey, he goes, yeah, no, not yet, but I'll let you know. I said, hey, I'm just going to check in with you every few months, every 6 months, just in case. He goes, dude, check in anytime you want. I don't want him to forget. Now that has worked. That tactic has worked for me a number of times. It took 2 years, and I got a Big Knives bodega, which kind of started my Big Knives collection. Ended up with 14 at one point, between the higher-end customs and the Steelcraft $300, $400 ones, all of that, right? So, like, that started the whole collection. But yeah, so I'll just wait. But if I get the very first Hellraiser ever made and the very last one, I'd be good. I have the very first knife that Ed ever made, so that's fancy.
That is fancy.
Luck Knives, Blade West and Blade Texas will be the main focal points from this point on. Atlanta was cool to experience, but it's a much bigger ordeal logistically. I can easily drive to the west and Texas. Yeah, he's probably 10 minutes away from Blade Show West, and it's not that bad of a drive down to Texas from Utah. So, yeah. Blade Texas is much more custom knife focused as well. I didn't know that. There you go.
That is for Napster.
045.
That is it, right
0454, sorry. Anyone have one for MSRP? Well, Napster Ninja, somebody has one, but I don't think he's selling.
That's a good choice, though. That's a nice knife. I like that one too. I do like the 0454.
Aussie Mike says, should I start sending silver and gold coins to you for
review? Yes.
No, but if you want to send me some more gifts of silver and gold, that would be fantastic.
God, what a pirate.
I mean,
give me my gold and silver, me matey.
I don't know if I'm ready to get into buying gold coins. As I said in this morning's video, I bought that 007 No Time to Die gold bar, silver bar, 1 ounce silver bar. I think I'm going to get into some silver stuff. I do think the guy Mike, who I won that auction from, he sets up a thing, and like you pick, hey, I want to spend $50 a week, $20 a week, $100 a month, whatever, right? And then he just kind of builds a box and then ships it to you every month, every other month, every 2 months. I don't know. We haven't worked it all out yet. So I think I'm going to do that more specifically for the coins, because I kind of like the round coins better than the bars. But I really like, he actually has like I think it's a 10 ounce silver bar right now for like $300 he's selling, which I was a little tempted to buy because it's big. Like, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have a big bar. And then there's some 10 ounce bars also. I think it's a 100 ounce brick type bar. And then he's got some 10 ounce bars. I don't know. I'm so new to this. I don't know anything about it. But I think it'd be cool to have like a brick, like, like a big chunk.
I like the silver bullets. That was pretty cool.
Gather all your silver and smelt it into one big bar. No.
Did you get some silver bullets recently?
I did get some silver bullets also, 45 caliber bullets that are 1 ounce of silver. It's pretty cool. The milling and stuff is a little rough. It's not super polished, and I don't know. I mean, there's some nicks, and like it's just around the bevel, like at the bottom where the ejector would grab. It's not perfectly smooth and things like that, but it's okay. The Midgar Messer Fenris or Odin's toothpick. Now, I'm not sure which ones those are. I have handled a bunch of Midgard Messer knives over the years. He worked with me for a little while, and his name's Dirk, but then he just kind of disappeared and didn't work with me anymore. So I don't know. I don't know.
Werewolves. I like
the Werewolf Slayer. Yeah, gotta have my silver bullet. They're not real bullets. They're just chunks of silver molded into a bullet. Like it's the whole, it's the casing, the projectile, everything is just a solid chunk of silver. That makes sense. I got it right here.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like them. It would be even cooler if they were actually like functioning bullets.
I don't know. It's cool the way they are here. Let's see if I can.
I would keep one and shoot one if they were real bullets.
So the casing, the projectile, it's all one piece. Just, I'm guessing, CNC milled out of a block of silver. You're not going to be able to read it here, but it does say 1 ounce, 0.999, and then like a A9. I don't know what the A9 means, but it's just cool. It's like I said, it's one piece, just milled out, CNC'd out or whatever. And they're a little scratched because they just came in a Ziploc bag, so they kind of smashed together in shipping and whatnot, which I'm totally fine with. I think they're super cool, and I would buy some other silver little trinkets like that. I think. I don't know. Napster Ninja. This is a good question. Aussie Mike is still here. Is it worth holding on to silver coins? My family has some, but don't even know what to do with them. I know certain ones are worth some value, but what about the basic ones? Just worth its weight? So you're probably talking about like nickels, dimes, quarters, things like that were like real silver back in the day. Yeah, I don't know about that. Probably. I don't know. That I'm not sure of.
I'm laughing because CPM's telling me that my Benchmains are tainting my collection.
Yeah, CPM has quite the RJ Martin collection, if he still has them. Yeah, he's a big time RJ Martin guy. He's got some really nice ones that if he was a nice guy, he'd be like loaning them in so I could share with everybody. But, that just hasn't never happened yet. So, okay. But, yeah, he's got a really nice RJ Martin. CPM actually has a really nice collection, period.
He does.
Not just RJ Martin. He's got a lot of stuff, and it's a very vast array of a collection. So it's very cool.
Yep.
So Napster Ninja, Aussie Mike says, go to your local coin shop and chat with them. Some would have collector's value. Some others have spot value. So, yeah, I mean, it may only be worth 50 cents, but it might be worth $50. You never know. I'm sure, like I was into coins way back in the day when I was younger because my dad was into coins and stamps. Way more into stamps. When my dad passed away, we gathered everything up, called one of the dealers that he dealt with for stamps. They came and appraised everything. I think we literally sold like 20 grand worth of stamps that he had left.
Wow.
And he had sold a lot in the last several years to pay medical thing, stuff like that. So he'd already liquidated a lot of his collection. But yeah, we loaded up a car full, went over to the dealer and just looked. And it was somebody that we trusted because he worked with my dad for many years, buying and selling stamps for him and stuff. So yeah, but it was like 15, 20, something. Yeah, it was a lot. It ended up way more than we thought. CPM, don't buy coins, buy luxury cardboard rectangles. Baseball cards, trading cards, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm just not into that kind of collecting that stuff, a knife hobby and everything, guns, everything else I do is just way too expensive already.
Yeah, he's talking about baseball cards, football cards, trading cards. They have them for everything nowadays.
Yep.
And those can get crazy too.
Oh, yeah.
Tie addiction, Chris. He just texted me a while back, a couple days ago, that he bought some signed rookie card from somebody, I don't remember who. And I think he bought a Muhammad Ali signed card and things like that. So he's pretty big into comics and trading cards as well as knives and stuff too. So,
that's cool.
I think we get into a lot of hobbies and different things. I try to keep it more like I try not to get into too many things. That's why, like with the coin, the silver and stuff, I think it's a decent investment, more so than a knife. And if I can work with this guy, Mike, and just say, look, I want to spend X amount a month, just ship me a box every quarter or whatever, we'll work it out and I'll just store them. Like, it's fine. He goes, yeah, dude. Like, he told me, he goes, look, if somebody wanted to spend $30-$40 a month, they could just start to amass coins over time. And it's not a get rich quick thing. It's more of a just collect the stuff because that's silver, gold. That's not going to go down in value necessarily. If you got $5,000 worth of silver 5-10 years from now, it's going to be worth around $5,000. You buy a $5,000 knife today, tomorrow it might be worth $2,000. It's a weird world. So knives are certainly not investments. Even the watches that I have, I do not buy a watch on an investment.
No,
Those are
no.
not investing things. Yeah. Oh, now these guys are talking about like bourbon and
Yep.
whiskey and stuff like that.
We should
CPM
do an episode on the different stuff that people collect. That'll
is
probably an interesting one.
so CBM is hunting a bottle of Yamakasi 25. I don't even know what that is. I'm guessing it's whiskey or something. I don't drink, so I don't know what all this stuff is. But yeah, let's do an episode on what else do we collect than just knives, right? Because we've got some whiskey guys in here. We got some bourbon guys in here. I see in the comments. We got some trading card guys. We got comic book guys. Like, let's talk about this and see what is what. Okay, so it's a Japanese whiskey CPM is looking for. And I'm afraid to ask, what is a bottle of Yamazaki 25 go for? Are we talking $500? Are we talking $5,000? Are we talking $100? Roughly, ballpark? What's a bottle of that fancy whiskey cost? I don't even know.
The most expensive bottle of
$4,500 for a bottle of whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, CPM. Would that be something that you would drink, or is that just something you buy to collect? Again, I don't know these things. I know people spend a crazy amount of money on wine. They drink or they don't drink. Like I'm curious on the whiskey. Some people buy a lot of that stuff and they do drink it.
I used to do card games with one of my buddies, and at that time I was in my college years, and it was when I worked at a sushi bar as a waiter, and so we used to play cards every night. And the owner of the sushi bar, he's an interesting character. He's a Korean guy, but he was born and raised in Brazil and spoke Portuguese.
Okay.
Right? And he opened up these chains of sushi bars, but he's kind of old fashioned. He drove to downtown LA to pick up his fish almost like every other day. Like, he was one of those people who's just all about that. So one day he pulls out a bottle of whiskey for us to drink. And then, well, actually I lie. It's not quite whiskey. It was scotch. Pretty close, but and when he pulled it out, we all started drinking a sip of it, and then he's like, "Oh, here, have another one,"
Right.
I'm like, "How much is that bottle?" I'm like, that is really, really good. It was super smooth. He's like, "It's 10 grand." I'm like,
I have heard that some scotch
gets crazy,
gets really up there in the price. I have heard. I know there are some wines that are super, super, super pricey. And I figure that there is bourbon and whiskey and all. I'm sure there's some rare stuff in any of those genres, tequila, all that. I don't drink, so I don't know. But
you could probably find something ridiculously expensive in any genre if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Glasses, purses, jeans,
dude,
underwear, whatever you can think of. I bet you there's.
Speaking
where
of
I'm going with that.
A guy I just kind of became friends with on Facebook, we were talking about something else, and he posted a picture. He is making some Timascus glasses frames.
Wow.
He's just finishing up the 2 prototypes. I'm like, dude, I need those. I don't know where I'd get the lenses, man. Like, that's all. I got to jump one hurdle at a time. But, dude, Timascus glasses frames? Get out of here.
As long as the shape looks nice.
They looked similar to they were kind of similar to these-ish.
You don't want those like circular John Legend ones,
dude, I would almost take those too. Like, I wouldn't even care. If they would fit my face and they're Timascus, and then I could go to wherever and have custom lenses made to my prescription, dude, I'm all about it. He says he's going to get back to me when he perfects this and goes to sell some or whatever. I don't know, but Dude, that would be so cool. Probably a $400, $500 pair of frames. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I got to get custom lenses made. That's probably another $500, $800. I don't even know. CPM. All right, $10,000 you would pay for a bottle of Screaming Eagle, some liquor thing. Okay, great. Yeah, see, there's something expensive in every hobby. When I was doing triathlons, I started with a $50 pair of running shoes and I ended with a $300 pair of running shoes. I started with a $500 bike. I ended with a $10,000 bike. So there's everything. Yep. Like, it doesn't even matter. Kunwa is making a watch with a Damascus bezel. There is a Damasco, I think that's who it is. Oh, no, Zen. Zen makes a watch. The whole case is milled out of a chunk of Damascus. Even the dial is just milled out of this one chunk of Damascus.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
So they milled out the front, they milled out the back, they left the dial, they punched the hole for the handset and the movement. They only made like 1,900 of them years ago. It was, I don't have one, but that is a watch I would kind of like to get. And they weren't that expensive. They're like $3,000 or something like that. Maybe $4,000. I don't remember now. It's been a while since I looked, but yeah, cool stuff.
That's gone up like 500%.
Yeah, that's probably up there too. I haven't looked in a while. And I've had a full Damascus watch and case with the bezel and everything from Zelos.
I remember.
That was a cool one to have. So yeah, there's a lot of cool watches, but again, I wear two now and the rest sit and collect dust. So I may sell some off here shortly and then spend the money on other things. I don't know.
Sweet.
Anyway, I think we're pretty much wrapped up here. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll be back. Let me take a quick look at the calendar. I get back on Monday the 24th, so we're looking at Sunday the 30th. So 3 weeks from now.
Yep, 3 week. That sounds good.
Which is good. We didn't want to go like a whole month from the last one. That's why we did a week back to back. But appreciate you guys chiming in. Anybody that's watching later, you've probably already stopped watching by now as we start to wrap up and you're watching it secondarily. So, but yeah, thanks guys. And yeah, Nick, thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Aussie Mike, glad you could join us for the whole thing since it's a holiday there in Down Under. Really
it's always great to have Mike.
So, all right, guys, keep in touch and we will see you in a few weeks.